Hello guys, this is Alok and today I'm going to talk about the vertical landscape designing. In this picture you can see the very beautiful vertical wall or live wall or a vertical garden inside a building which is quite often referred as indoor vertical wall, and this is a structure where the building acts as a very fine, very beautiful hardscape material, and together with that this vertical landscape gets another level of beauty. This is the vertical gardens in outdoor medium, and you can see these sort of the outdoor vertical gardens are easily systematized with the outdoor medium and outdoor environment. Here also the hardscape and landscape can be systematized in such a way that it gives a very peculiar effect. If we are defining the vertical gardens, then vertical garden can be defined as a self-sufficient structure that can be fitted at either side of building, fence, gate or balcony. Within the living wall system, it is a structural support that is fastened directly to the supporting wall or fence that holds the plant roots and soil systems. It can be soil based or water based, and somehow built in watering systems. Plants receive their nutrients from within the vertical structure or support system. Hence, basically here we will be thinking that what are the components of vertical gardens. So basically there are four components of vertical gardens: forms of plants used there, support system, mechanical support system, water and nutrient support system, and light support system. So these are four are the basic components of a vertical garden. This is again a picture outdoor vertical gardens. First we discuss about the what sort of the plants are being used there. So most preferred plants used in vertical gardens are climbers or drooping nature sort of plants. Since both don't have strong stem to provide them mechanical strength, so they require support system which can give them a support so that they can grow vertically. But it is not restricted that only climbers and drooping nature of plants can be used there. One should use other plants as well with the combination of these. Most common plants used in vertical gardens based on their morphological and their grouping systematics are ferns, bromeliads, pothos, succulents and crotons. Ferns, they are one of the garden plants that are preferred for the adaptability and humidity resistance. Ferns are easy to grow and they cover the area quickly. These are cryptogamous, means they don't bear the flowers, which have long leaves, and they are grown in clusters, which make them to be first choice for a vertical gardens. Ferns will generally grow downwards, so you will need to grow them with other plants so that they get a proper shape. Some examples of ferns are sword ferns, the first picture, blue star ferns, second one, and bird nest, the last one. These ferns get these peculiar names based on their morphological characters, and all these names are vernacular names. Another sort of plants used in vertical gardens are bromeliads. Bromeliads are member of family Bromeliaceae, which gets names after the Swedish medical doctor and botanist O. Bromell. Usually these plants lack proper stem and hence they are called as caudex. Inflorescence in these plants is terminal, and bracts along with the perianth are brightly colored and they have very varied range of the color pattern. Hence they are so good and they are firstly preferred to create a pattern in a vertical garden. They are perennial, terrestrial or epiphytic herbs or shrubs with absorptive peltate trichomes. This makes them perfect for pattern creation in vertical wall or vertical garden or living wall. Some examples of bromeliads can be ananas, enrolepis and many more. Pothos. Pothos is a vernacular name, and these plants are member of family Araceae, and they are perennial plants, hence they are quite suited for vertical gardens. They are in form of tendril vines and hence they are perfect for vertical gardens. The leaves are simple, bifacial, spiral or distichous and sometimes highly divided or fenestrate. Pothos are mainly used for its aesthetic leaves. Leaves have pointed, heart-shaped green leaves that are sometimes having white, yellow, pale greens, striations. Only demerit of these plants is that they can be toxic sometimes for the pets. Another sort of plants which are quite used in indoor vertical gardens are succulents. Succulents means the plants which are always living, always fresh. These succulent plants which are widely used in the vertical gardens come from the same Parvivum genus, and they are also known as alpine succulent. Now we talk about the support system. So first we talk about the mechanical support system. Since we know we choose all plants which are weak stemmed and or vines, and moreover this is vertical arrangement, so we need a mechanical support which not only holds plant but also gives proper shape or fashion to arrange plants to create a pattern. Whether you can make your own system or purchase a pre-built or structured living wall system for your own specific vertical garden, your most important consideration should be the structural integrity of wall, fence, gate, door that will support your vertical gardens. What walls should be structurally safe and sound and be able to withstand with the hundreds of watering and outdoor issues. Since these plants and water and soil and the containers which we will be using in our vertical gardens, they will bring extra weight to the wall. So we should make sure that the wall we are fixing these vertical apparatus to grow vertical wall, that wall should be able to withstand with that extra weight. If not possible, then we will be adding some other vertical structures to support these vertical gardens. Some examples can be seen in these pictures. These specific systems which can be used along with the wall so that they don't look different from the wall, but they can be seen as an integrated part of the walls and they will cover fully the wall, and hence we will get a very beautiful vertical wall or vertical garden. Now we talk about the water and nutrient support system. There are several options for watering vertical gardens like drip mechanism or spray mechanism. Usually in the vertical gardens there can be a proper pipeline for watering, but it is not suggested. Hence most of the cases the people try to water them with the spray one or with the drip mechanism. The best technique for the watering your vertical garden is decided by the nature of plants you put there. Since you had put it various sort of plants grouped together to create a particular fashion, particular pattern, and every plants have the different water needs. So you have to look specific plants for every time, like how frequent you should water them. Cactus and succulent plants need for less watering than other plants. Vegetables typically need to be watered more often. The rule of thumb is to water based upon the needs of plants within the living wall unit. Watering your living wall in the morning before 10 a.m. or in the evening after 6 p.m. ensures that water stays in the soil for a longer period of time without drying out. Now we talk about the nutrient support system. Living wall are essentially container gardens, and while organic fertilizer is not absolutely needed to grow a plant, the plant normally grows stronger and more productive if fertilized organically and on a regular basis. Vegetables can be lightly fertilized with the organic product every 2 or 3 weeks throughout the primary growing season. Compost tea can be added regularly at watering time. Usually, organic soil, whenever possible, ensures that what you grow will have an organic and all natural foundation, especially important when growing vegetables and herbs or pollinator plants, for example. Adding the best soil mix to the living wall system will help the roots of plants to adapt and grow more readily, building a successful foundation for your plants. Usually, two sort of the soil mixed with nutrients is used in vertical gardens. One is the worm casting. Worm casting for gardens soil are easy to produce using a worm compost bin. You can also purchase bagged organic worm casting if you prefer. Mix worm casting into almost any soil mixture to increase the moisture retention. So this sort of the soil with the nutrient not only gives the proper nutrient to the plants, but also it provides the more moisture retention capacity. Another sort of soil mixed with the nutrient used in vertical wall is blood meal, which is a fine example of natural fertilizer. It is filled with the nitrogen and it is good for most leafy plants and growing their roots. Last and but so important support system is light support system. Outdoor vertical gardens do not require any specific light illumination during day, but they could be illuminated by direct or indirect focus of light on them during night to create various sort of the patterns, various sort of color of light can be used to create very specific effect in night for outdoor vertical gardens also. While indoor vertical gardens can be illuminated with the various pattern of light to enhance its natural beauty, light illumination has capacity to make more aesthetic to even more normal vertical garden to more aesthetic one. In this picture you can see this is a corridor which is having a very nice vertical gardens grouped together various sort of the plants, and here you can see the light illumination is made in a such a way that all plants doesn't get exact same light, but they get light in a proper pattern so that they look more aesthetic. In this picture also you can see the light is projected at down of the vertical garden and reflection goes to upwards and creates a very nice pattern of vertical view. This is a picture of outdoor vertical gardens. These plants, these vertical gardens do not require any light during day, so they look more natural in day, while in night you can create various pattern of light to make them look very aesthetic, very fashionable. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much.